Day one of the HCS Open Series has concluded, and we had two absolute banger matchups that we have to run through. These last few weeks, all eyes have been on these two teams, Faze and SSG, as they made a 2-for-2 swap in which Snakebite joined Lucid as he reunited with his old teammates, Trippy and Penguin. SSG picked up two former Faze players in Suppress and Falcated, and everyone's been asking the question, who won the trade? These two teams were destined to match up and play once again in the winners semifinals to start day two, but standing in their way of this rivalry matchup would be Cloud9 and Complexity. Coming into the Open, Cloud9 made an interesting decision. They dropped Septify and picked up Collect to replace him. Septify was arguably Cloud9's best player after putting up some monster numbers at HCS Arlington, where he finished with the 4th best KD of the entire event. Cloud9's newest team is looking forward to their bout with SSG to show the world that this new roster is going to turn heads. We start our series on Livefire, and it starts like most Livefire games do, an all-out fight for sniper control. SSG would eventually secure the sniper and a triple kill to give SSG an early advantage.
Sad ends up going down. Now the same thing here for almost all of Cloud9. That's a 3 down. That's a triple. Falcated.
An early lead wasn't enough to keep the newest Cloud9 player from having his impact be known on the map. Look at this play from Collect. While his team is 3 down, he was able to grab the camo away and actually live to make a crucial play in the game.
Free every time Suppress tries to attack it. There's a member of Cloud9 putting down that damage, and Collect is going to just sneak away with it.
And think about what Collect just saw. He went around that corner, won that gunfight, and saw 3 more players there. Not only does he get away with his life, he gets away with a camouflage. Absolutely massive for Cloud9, and the impact starting to be felt. SSG heading to the respawn screen, and they are losing some of their map presence. Able to find a couple kills on the map, C9 takes space and control. Now this will lead to an early trip cap, and they go on a 79-1 run to take a lead in the game. But just as Camo gave C9 an early lead, SSG responds right away by getting one of their own, and Suppressed used it masterfully. Really love this play from him to stay alive. Great trust from Suppressed to work around his team and to keep the camo in play. Because of this, they're able to break Cloud9's control, and the game becomes much more mixy as they start to trade 2 caps for the rest of the game. Entering the final stage of game 1, SSG would kill Collect, who had snipe, and C control to garner the biggest lead in the match. Cloud9 would answer back as Collect would get a nice double kill to secure B control, making the game a real nail-biter.
17 points and counting, and a momentary trip cap may turns longer than that. Collect may have been able to take down Stellar, but right now it's Alpha, Charlie, and Bravo that belongs to C9. For now, Collect makes his way over towards B. Absolutely perfect shots. Eco right there.
This game really can go either way at this point, but this play from Suppressed was really impressive. SSG finds 2 kills outside towards B. Suppressed now recognizes that he has the timing window to rotate all the way through to Rat Tunnel to hit Big Door and to finish the player that's holding his teammates back. While one shot, Suppressed is not only taking space, but is working towards what SSG want the most: tempo on the final rotations of the game. Suppressed hits his timing perfectly to get to that kill as Cloud9 is spawning. This creates a staggered spawn effect that kills any chance they have in the final game. Eco was hyper aware of this play developing as well, and he waited towards the back of tower to trap the initial spawners and put Cloud9 into a chokehold to win game 1.
Let's see, can they get it B in time?
No, Eco. After losing a close game 1, Cloud9 needs a bounce back to get themselves back into the series, but nothing's ever easy when you're going up against 2 perennial champions in Eco and Stellar. SSG are able to build up an 11-kill lead heading into the mid game, and it feels like the door is closing on Cloud9. When they need it most, Cloud9 would win a couple of crucial pivots, allowing Collect to scoop up the camo to get a double kill, cutting the lead to 5.
Like, not only getting those kills, but snatching up the camo. Is this where Cloud9 steal control?
We've seen the last 3 camos go to Cloud9. This one has more impact, but Cloud9 kept battling as they're able to eventually secure a tie game at 42-all, overcoming that 11-kill deficit from the early game. But it's the hope that really hurts in games like this. Cloud9 were able to secure a camo, but it doesn't really have much of an impact for the team, not able to break themselves out of this tied game. Space Station is able to break the tension though with a really well-timed collapse on Cloud9, and honestly, I was surprised Cloud9 didn't see this one coming. Look at the information Collect gets when he sees 2 players jump out towards the middle map. This should be raising all the alarm bells for Cloud9, that a push is starting to develop and that Stellar will be coming in either the middle of the map or the opposite lane. Damage equals speed for Stellar and SSG, and they commit fast into their fight and completely blow the door open on Cloud9's hold, putting them 4 down with no trade outs, securing SSG a 2-0 lead in the series.
Drive right through the driveway side of things. Nades go down first to try to get some easy damage. The Stalker does take that player down to 1 shot. Suppressed and SSG have them trapped right now, but can't seem to find the entrance. They're gonna have to make one themselves.
They are being very annoying, just getting down damage, not letting the kills come through, and then Eco just cleans it up. Collect has put up a hell of a performance so far in these first couple games for Cloud9. Going into game 3, he has a 1.32 KD, but it hasn't resulted in a game win for them yet. Cloud9 needs something special to happen in game 3 to change that trend and to get momentum back in their favor. The pain for Cloud9 continues early in game 3, as they're not able to get the bomb arm despite the constant pressure and kills into Space Station's base. To add insult to injury, Space Station's able to arm the bomb easily from getting their first clear out of the base.
The focus of this fight for both teams has been controlling that util side for the most part here. Everybody trying to move that bomb from util to util. This time it's Cloud9 to end up 3 down. Eco starts the arm. Collect getting that spawn, have a direct angle toward the bomb player, but Eco just barely not able to grab it. Luckily, Falcade is there, not only getting the melee, but plants the first one in for Space Station Gaming.
Though just as things look to be getting worse, Cloud9 are able to create an opportunity. Stellar and SSG are creating havoc in Cloud9's base, looking primed to cap another bomb, but Boo Boo Doo spoils it all by getting a lucky spawn in the back of base, something Stellar would never expect. Seriously, this spawn is wild. SSG are fully expecting everyone to be in the fridge as they control everything else on the map. Cloud9 wasted not 1 second after getting this lucky break to bring the bomb back over to SSG's base and to tie the game at 1 apiece.
A very sneaky play from Cloud9. SSG don't even know what hit him.
Cloud9 would take a lead in the game after a quick round of slays, but SSG were quick to respond with a capture of their own. What's more, SSG are just winning their gunfights. After this arm, it is looking bleak for Cloud9. But Cloud9 does have one trick up their sleeve. The newest player on the roster, Collect. With everything starting to spiral out of control, Collect has an opportunity to create one of the sneakiest plays we have ever seen.
We have a tied up game, ladies and gentlemen.
And they have control still of that car site completely. They know Cloud9 are going to be limited in their ability to push, and Suppress and Stellar are just winning gunfights on that right side, able to get more, but but what is this? What are we seeing here? Collect has gotten the bomb and he is all the way on SSG's side. They don't know. They don't know he could do something insane.
But at this level of competition, SSG know if they haven't seen the bomb in a while, most likely that bomb is in the back base here. So he's playing patient with it and eventually gets spotted. So has to drop that bomb and deal with Falcade. And now you have 2 more members of Space Station Gaming over toward the util side. Tries to sneak in a bit of progression, but Suppressed and SSG won't be confused by that one.
Seriously, this would have been so cool, but SSG sniff out the danger and were able to get themselves in a game-winning position. Similar to Game 2, SSG charge every lane on the map to overwhelm Cloud9 and secure a 3-0 sweep after some very close games. Trying to hold it off. 3 in the back base, 1 gets the fridge spawn. Not a lot of spacing for Cloud9 to work with. SSG just a couple slays away. They're starting to break them all down. It's just Advocacy that's alive. They're collapsing into the base. The bomb is here. It's getting armed. SSG have done it with 3 seconds left on the clock. Despite the loss, I don't think Cloud9 are too upset with their performance. Collect rocked out in his debut, putting up a 1.29 KD, and they were very competitive with an SSG team that'll probably be playing the gatekeeper to any teams trying to make it to Championship Sunday at a LAN. But each team change has another story to tell. The story of the player who got dropped. Septify doesn't have a team right now, and will need to use this tournament as a showcase to teams in the top 12 that he's worth making a roster change for. When I saw the news that Septify was dropped, I was honestly blown away. Septify has been incredible so far this season. I thought he made a big leap this year, trying to figure out what it meant to be impactful as a Slayer for a team. Complexity is in need of a player this weekend as Ryanoob is on vacation and Septify is chomping at the bit to get his chance to show the world that he is a top-tier Halo professional. Standing in his way is a star-studded Faze roster. Game 1 is back and forth to start as Complexity scores early on, but Faze bounces right back to give themselves a small lead. Septify is able to provide opportunity for his team with a great sequence with this camouflage. I want to point out a small change of pace play Septify performs. Notice how he purposely slows down his speed with the camo. The purpose of this is to change the timing expectation that Faze has of where to expect camo. This causes Lucid to get caught out in the open for an early first pick, and after a funky sequence with Trippy, Septify has an impact on every remaining player for Faze. This play leads to a 120-30 run for Complexity. That would only be stopped by Trippy getting a much needed triple kill at B.
Side.
About to hit 200 points. Trippy will be able to at least stop that for the time being. 2 going down. Let's make it 3 as Trippy gets his namesake. We're able to get a couple of nice sequences from this point, but it's not enough to bridge the difference and Complexity find a victory in Game 1. Steps in, but taken down. Faze Clan not able to complete the comeback as Complexity holds on. Faze used some of that momentum they found at the end of Game 1 to come out hot to start Game 2, establishing themselves a double-digit lead early on as it's on Complexity to make up the difference. After a few much-needed slays, Complexity have their chance to tie the game. Only down 3, they're able to isolate Lucid away from the spawners on the map. With this numbers advantage, Complexity is sprinting to the next play. Penguin, though, slow plays himself and is ready to take on the fight and wins a crucial gunfight with 5 perfect shots. This finally kills the momentum of Complexity, and Faze tied the series up at 1-1 going into Game 3. Game 3 has been a chaotic mess up to this point. Tied 1-1, Penguin makes a highlight play that any Halo player wanting to get better should learn from. Faze is in a numbers disadvantage, but Penguin has a camo which he uses to get a kill. Notice the kill feed at this point. His teammates also got another kill at the same time. This opens a huge timing window that Faze must use quickly. Penguin doesn't hesitate 1 second to move that bomb forward. Think about this situation from Complexity's point of view. They just went from a numbers advantage with an attacking mindset to suddenly all being on respawn and the bomb rapidly moving into their base in a matter of seconds. They are desperate in this moment to stabilize their position, and in the chaos, they're firmly slapped away by Penguin, leading to a bomb arm and a 2-1 lead. With just 1 minute left in the game, Complexity needs a bomb arm. Complexity shows the power of positioning to make a play. Cherish has been able to move this bomb all the way up to the util bridge, and this is dangerous as it gives Complexity a simple win condition. get unanswered kills, and you will arm the bomb. Close access to the objective is often key to bomb detonations and assault.
Meanwhile, Cherish, no, it's not just 2, it's 3 members of Faze that are baiting him out. What?
They all went down and they didn't trade out anyone. This might be it for Complexity. They're able to get in. The spawners haven't spawned yet. It's just Trippy. The first comes up, but by the time they can even get their guns up, the bomb is armed. Overtime, here we come. Though this was a great effort to tie up the game, Faze are so strong at moving the bomb at the best possible times. They start to get kills, and as Complexity work on a peace side overextend, they move the bomb into scoring position. Notice the positioning of Faze players. Penguin is able to provide support that is needed for Lucid, and they don't hesitate to move that bomb once he's there. They find the remaining kills necessary and arm the bomb. Faze goes up 2-1 in the series.
Well, Mental has to win a pivot against Trippy, but ends up being cleaned up. The bomb is just about there. There's nobody to get the backsmack, and just like that, Faze are gonna end this game and take momentum in the series.
Things are looking up in game 4 for Complexity as they completely win the opening start. With Phase 3 down and Cherish having camo, this should be a dominant position for Complexity, but Faze does a really good job of shutting down the camo player. There's a tenet to follow in Halo when dealing with a numbers disadvantage. If you're the first spawner, you should be the slowest player for your team. As more players spawn up, they should increase their speed off of spawn. Lucid does a fantastic job to take space towards bottom dip, but not to take any excess risk until his team is ready. When Snakebite spawns, he immediately relays to the team that he spawned at yard and that he can play through the driveway. This coordination between Lucid and Snakebite puts Cherish in an untenable position, and Faze breaks Complexity's early control. After some back and forth, Faze eventually finishes this first hill and is well set up for the next. Complexity will not even be able to contest this hill as Faze takes a dominant 2-0 lead in game 4. A 2-0 lead is a tough position to come back from in King of the Hill, but Complexity will be able to take advantage of a massive misstep from Faze. After getting a couple kills, Lucid and Snakebite play aggressively into the spawn zones of Complexity. When their back player goes down though, notice how the map control dramatically changes. The first spawner of Complexities are now going to be forced towards blue instead of loop or yard. This gives Complexity the spacing necessary towards the hill. This hurts doubly so when their push players die and Trippy's caught mid-sprint trying to support. They completely lose control of the map and are put into a brutal staggered spawn rotation that Complexity takes complete advantage of. These staggered spawns would continue all the way into the next hill rotation, where Complexity continued to punish Faze, earning a perfect hill and tying the game at 2-all. After some strong positional battles from both sides, Penguin finds a break in the hill that earns Faze a 3-2 lead as we go back into the original hill at bottom mid, where Complexity is able to answer back with a capture of their own. Complexity is facing a tough situation. Faze controls the camo and hill, while Complexity is stuck on the blue side of the map. Complexity needs to give Faze a double dilemma, and who else but Septify to provide it? This is a mixture of heads up play and execution from Septify, and one of the worst cases of unfortunate timing for Snakebite. Snakebite looks away right before Septify pushes past the doorway. If Snakebite catches Septify and wins that gunfight, this push is essentially dead in the water for Complexity. Septify ices though with a perfect shot, and Complexity topple the rest of Faze and secure a hill to force game 5.
Still have control and they ain't letting go. Ladies and gentlemen, we could be going to a game 5.
In game 5, Complexity is hanging on to a 2-kill lead over Faze. Momentum is starting to shift towards Faze as they're playing more and more aggressively. In game 5, teams look towards their Slayer specialists to make a difference. Historically, Septify has been an outlier overperformer in Slayers, and when Complexity needs him the most, he delivers. While he gets his shields back, Septify able to get that blow. He's at 12 kills. We're just past halfway through this game. He has 12. He's 12 and 4. 12 and 4? Let's make it 13 and 4. He can get his 14th right here. Oh, Penguin, 5 shots to knock him down, but Septify is completely taking over this game.
I think you called him out there and made him a little bit nervous, but either way, 13 and 5, 7 assists is not a bad performance out of Complexity. We're still holding on to what was a 3-kill lead, now 2 back to 3 with the 39th being put on the board for Complexity. 3 down go Faze. The final player is here and has to settle for a trade. Complexity are moving in to their end game.
Not only a 2-kill swing that favors Complexity, but now a camouflage for them to work with. The end game is here, and Cherish can snap Faze out of existence. Just a couple players ahead of him, and this shock rifle can do so much damage.
What is Thanos gonna do here with camouflage and shock combination? Wants to take it over to where the low A side. There's no way the Snakebite didn't spot him out. Just a bit, he didn't. Turns it into a back smack, and that's the first one to fall. Now make it 2. The shots and the nades end up going down, driving Faze through the gold side. Cherish always good at anticipating that, but didn't anticipate the spawners there. They're gonna have to retreat, reset. Otherwise, Faze are gonna take advantage.
I'd almost leave A early. You have a grapple to get yourself out. I think he was a little too aggressive there, trusting himself to hit that headshot, but he had no help. That was him doing it all on his own, and well, oftentimes you need to take a friend with you in these fights. Septify split the 2. He dropped down, got the back smack, and Trippy went up high, and the Faze push is dead in the water.
All 4 members of Faze end up going down, while the first 2 spawning up right in front of King Nick, daring them to push forward. But right now, it's Faze the ones in a non-advantageous position. Split spawns go down. Complexity are able to recognize it, at least pulling 1 down with them from the tower side, and the 49 kill goes down. The 1 shot gets cleaned up. Cherish willing to trade out his life if it means he's going to Sunday.
Seriously, someone pick this guy up.